March 20th, 5 o'clock p.m. The members present are, and when I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Member Reverend David Murray, Member Tawana Simpson, Superintendent John Telford, Vice President Herman Davis, President Lamar Lemon, and the chair of this event today, Elena Arana. Ladies and gentlemen, you're elected Detroit. I'll turn it over to the coordinator of this program, Member Elena Arana.
Good evening, everyone. Do we have students in the audience who wanted to testify? If you're a student, stand up. How many student testifiers do we have? Your name, what school you're from, and what you'd like to tell us.
Hello, my name is Darshay White. I am a student at Ferguson Academy. I am in my junior year. I have been attending Ferguson Academy for young women since January of 2012. When I first attended the school, it was not a DPS, it was EAA. It was okay because we had classes, but a lot of students that had previously attended the school years before that told me that it was much better. They offered more programs when it was DPS. This year, when I walked in September of 2012 for the new school year, I came to find out that we had a new program called the Big Picture Learning Program. I found it to be something new, so I said, hey, let me give it a try. The first day of school, me and my mother walked in. I had just had my son, and I walked into my first classroom, and I said, hey, where's my schedule? And my teacher told me, which he told me that he's not a teacher, he is an advisor, and not to be called a teacher, that I stay in one classroom all day. I do all my work in this classroom. I don't have a teacher to teach me that subject, and I teach myself. So, I was very confused. I said, hey, so how can I teach myself something that I don't know? Then they said, you have internships 2 days out of the week. To mind you, I was only 15 at the beginning of this year. I just turned 16 in March. And so I called around looking for internships for 2 days out of the 4 days of school we go. And everyone said, hey, you're not 18, you're not a college student. Why aren't your teachers calling me? You're calling me yourself. So I had problems finding the internship. And then I was told that my internship was 40% of my grade. So if I didn't have one, the highest grade is a D. So then, as long as the classwork went, as far as the classwork went, I would have to have credits for biology, geometry, art, music. Where am I to go to get these credits? And they say, hey, sit on this computer all day and Google work so that you can teach yourself. And so I'm like, some stuff, I could go off the basics like English. I know how to write. But as far as things like geometry, I'm like, I can't sit on Google all day and learn how to do a geometry problem. And then not have anyone to check it, and then I only do one project to turn in all the stuff that I was supposed to do for the whole quarter at the end, and then be told at the end of that quarter that I did not do enough work to get this grade. You did not teach yourself enough stuff to have this grade. So I felt like my grades were being challenged because I was a 4.0 student. I graduated from middle school with a 4.0 from Academy of Latham Village. And so to find out that my grades are being challenged, and I plan to be this all-A student that I could not be because I have to teach myself something that I never knew was a struggle for me.
Yeah, right.
And then the worst part is that you're supposed to connect your work to your internship, your work that you teach yourself. So, for my first quarter, I did a project, and I was told that, well, you didn't learn everything in that subject, and I said, well, I did what you said. I did work that only connected to my career, so I shouldn't know about everything else. Is that what you're telling me? Because I am told that I am only supposed to learn work from my career. And then the school has become so empty that I sit in the class with 4 people every day. At the beginning of the school year, there was about 300 students. On count day, we had exactly 65 students. So I feel like everyone is leaving. So I'm calling friends like, hey, why you don't come to school anymore? I go to school every day. I haven't missed one day this year. Why don't you come to school? They're like, I don't know how to do this work, and I can't teach myself. I'm changing schools. I'm leaving. I'm dropping out. And I'm like, if it was to go back to having classes and teachers teach us, would you come back? And of course, they're like, yes, I will come back. And some people drop out because, Captain Ferguson has a daycare inside, and that's what keeps students there. And since they can't go a lot of places else to get daycare service, they're like, I don't have any schools to go to. I'm dropping out. I was supposed to graduate this year. I didn't graduate, and a lot of problems are caused with this big picture. I have not heard anyone in the school say they like the program. Everyone in my school agreed that they did not like it. So I don't know anyone that liked it.
We have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Is that the charter school?
Yes,
And
it's
who charters it?
Blanche Kelso Bruce Academy.
Blanche,
Blanche Kelso
Kelso,
Bruce Academy.
Bruce Academy. Okay. That, there's a, research committee for the charter schools, and I'm gonna ask you to go see that lady right there in the pink, and, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
How you doing? My name is Tatiana Duncan. I'm also a student at Catholic Ferguson Academy.
Can everyone hear her?
No.
Speak up.
How y'all doing? My name is Tatiana Duncan. I'm also a student at Catholic Ferguson Academy. Now, as well as my fellow student Darshea said, there used to be at least 300 girls in our school. Now, everybody fits into one lunch session. Last year, they threatened to close down CFA. Actually, 2 years ago, they threatened to close down CFA because they said they didn't have enough money to keep a school open for pregnant teens and mothering teens. That it was not a big deal, that it was one of the schools they could drop. Now, me and a teacher and some other students fought to keep the school open, and I feel as though we're being punished because not only is our school not a DPS anymore, we're BKB, we're in this big picture learning program, which they know nobody likes. More girls are dropping out because they don't understand what's going on. The big part of Captain Ferguson was to have a daycare so that it would be more convenient for teen mothers to go to school. Now, not only that, we have no transportation. This is the only school left in Detroit that you could take your baby to. It's all the way on the west side. We have east side girls who want to go, who have to catch the bus. And with the internship, if you have a baby, you have to come all the way to school on the bus and drop your baby off. Go all the way to your internship, and then at the end of the day, go all the way back to school, pick up your baby, and go all the way back home. We fought to keep Captain Ferguson open before. What I'm asking for this time is that we be a DPS school again, because I don't think we ever had this much trouble when we were a DPS school. Like, it's ridiculous how many girls have left our school. How many girls said, I just can't do it. So, I mean, I tried this school because I didn't have nowhere else to go. If I can't learn nothing here, I might as well drop out. So many of them. I've met many girls, I've called friends, why you don't come to school no more? It's just too far. It's just too hard. I don't understand what's going on. I don't even get any credit. At the rate that the school is going now, I'm supposed to graduate next year. It will probably be 2015, 16 by the time I graduate. Just because it's impossible to get all the credit you need in 1 year.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Demi Jones. I'm a senior at Mumford High School. This is my first year at Mumford. I didn't go to Mumford any of my other 3 years of high school. But on my first couple weeks of school, well, really first couple months, really, I had 50 to 60 students in each class I had for 8 hours a day. It was 50, wasn't enough chairs or desks or anything. And since there's so many students, many of the teachers was like, it's pointless to try to teach y'all, it's too many of y'all, we don't have any books, we don't have any anything. And for the first 2 weeks of school, our classes were so big, they would take us to the gym and the auditorium, and I would sit there and go to sleep and wake up when it was the end of the day, and I didn't learn anything. And my schedule has been changed so many times that if I was a senior who didn't have enough senior credit, that I feel I wouldn't have graduated because you weren't really given the opportunity to make up classes because you didn't have any. First, there wasn't any teachers. Now they have more staff. And they have a thing called virtual learning at our school. And if you're a person who failed a certain year class, you're not allowed to go to class with underclassmen. Let's say you failed geometry 10th grade. If you come back 11th or 12th grade and try to take geometry, you couldn't do it during school hours. You have to come after hours. The state till, 5? And most people who are in 11th and 12th grade have a job. So making up credits was extremely hard. I just personally had to make up any credits. And schedules have been changed so many times that it's like, I'm not sure if my credits are correct, and I'm about to graduate, and it's very important to get every credit for every class I'm in. And it's just a lot of stuff going on at the school, and the way they handle stuff, they don't address education much. They care more about my uniform than anything. I'll come to school, they'll suspend me, not let me in school, anything for not having a burgundy shirt on and some correct pants before they do anything about fighting or credits or anything. We have 2 counselors and thousands of students. And I've been asking to see my counselor since December, and I haven't seen him at all this year, besides the big meetings for the senior class. I'm personally on track to graduate, but it's many people who aren't, and that's a shame because it could have easily been fixed, and a lot more people could have been graduating. Because, I believe half our class is graduating from Mumford this year because they don't have enough credit. So, fortunately, I'm on the other side of that half, but not everybody else is.
All right.
The students who are reporting that you may not have enough credits to graduate, please see us and sign up. Please don't leave without us getting your information. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Sheldon Wade, and I am a student at Mumford High School, a junior. There's been a lot going on in Mumford. Like Denise said, with schedules, you have to make an appointment to see your counselor. Right. And then you better hope when your appointment comes, they don't have to go into a meeting or they're not with a parent because you're just not being seen.
That's crazy.
I asked for my transcripts. We looked at my transcripts. I went to Mumford since 9th grade. I never had an F or a D on my transcripts when Mumford was DPS. When it became EAA, I started getting F's and D's and stuff like that. You ask the teacher for help, and they're learning with you. Young, just coming out of college, and just coming out of high school.
Teach for America.
It's just like, you feel like they're one of you. And they changed my schedule so many times that now I'm just getting new classes, and here we are, we have been in school so long, and now I'm getting new classes, and I gotta start all over. I was in a math class that was helping me with my math. They took me out of that class and put me in a harder math class, and then took me out of that and put me back in the math class I was in. So when I got back, the teacher was like, I don't last class they took me, and they're like, oh, it's gonna help you, and ended up, the teacher just give you an assignment and sit down.
Thank you.
Can I just say something? That's the student I went to help, and the principal threw me out of school. That's the student that I went to help at Mumford. Okay.
They don't have the student record to even help the kids. They can't get their transcripts right. They are not preparing the seniors. They don't know how many seniors are going to graduate. They don't have the record.
That's the purpose of this meeting. We're gonna have, this last student testify, and then we're gonna have our committee continue the report.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Deja Ashmore. I am a 10th grader at Mumford High School and a member of the Social Justice. My first year at Mumford High School has been horrible. I believe that it was horrible to some other students as well. It feels like we are in a prison, from the dress code to the threat of shooting up the school to some students, to some of the teachers not knowing how to handle their classes, to the security guards, to the principal not knowing what to do at times, the counselors. I've had enough. This whole education, achievement, authority crap is not working out. We students are not guinea pigs. Our education is not to be played with, to be needed. Dr. Donnie Davis Jr. is the principal at Mumford High School. He does not need to be principal if you ask me. I say that because he doesn't know how to run a school like Mumford, because he has no experience in running a school like Mumford. One day there was a threat of gang shooting up the school once that day, and one day there was a threat of gang shooting up the school. Rumors were going around that no one saw Dr. Davis until 4 p.m. that day. I saw him that day and he wasn't doing anything. I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't take to school that day so no one would be hurt. Luckily, no one was. Dr. Davis always cuts people off when they talk, including teachers. When a student needs to talk to him about an important thing, he says he's going to get back to it later, but he never does. In my opinion, he doesn't care about his students. He suspended a teacher for 2 days just for going to Maryville College to hear students' testimonies about the EAA. That's not right. The counselors at Mumford are very unorganized. They have students transferred at their houses when they should be at the school in a filing cabinet. Half of the time, they do not know where students' transcripts are. They are never in their offices. Students have to make an appointment to see the counselor. But when that time comes, still they're never there. They are either in a meeting talking to another student, they called off work, or they are somewhere just chilling. It's ridiculous. The security guards at Mumford rely on other police that are there to break up the fight, inside and outside. Half of them do their job and the other half do not. When fights break out, they just sit there for a couple of seconds and then get up and walk to the fight to break it up instead of running. Students who are walking away from the fight get pushed by the security guards. For 38% of the teachers at Mumford, this is their first year teaching, and 22% are teach for America. The other percentages are actual teachers who know what the hell they are doing. In some classes, there have been substitute teachers since September. At Mumford and the other EAA schools, we go with this website called Buzz. It's so childish. No one wants a pirate teaching them about Benjamin Franklin. The website is designed for students to learn and work at their own pace, but we do not learn anything. Some students get on bus every day. It's crazy. A female 10th grader got suspended because she lost her ID. The principal and the dean of students cannot do that. Why, you may ask me? Because it is not in the student handbook that all EAA schools have. It's a loophole in the system